Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 5th episode of Stories That Bring Us Together. This is the favorite part of the month when I get to meet our entrepreneurs, their mentors, and introduce them to you, and we talk together. I am Aarti Sehgal, and I'm the founder and executive director of Synergies Work. Synergies Work is a nonprofit that supports entrepreneurs with disabilities and helps them build sustainable businesses. We started Stories That Bring Us Together in November, and this is our 5th episode. This is the stories, as the name suggests, Synergies Work. It's all about bringing the community together, getting people together, because that's when really the magic happens. I firmly believe that only when we have diverse talent, diverse people, and different folks from different experiences working together, good things happen. The stories that we showcase in these talk shows are stories of our entrepreneurs, their successes, their grit, their perseverance. These are stories of hope and stories that when how things happen when different people come together. We have two amazing authors, mentors, friends who are coming together today to talk about their experience. We have Dana and Savannah Johnson as our guests today. Just a little bit for a visual description of who I am. I am an Asian woman with black hair and a yellow shirt sitting against a painting of an orange color with a blue crab. Um, and and I welcome all our audiences to this episode. Please feel free to ask questions right through the show. It's an interactive session, it's not an interview. So ask your questions, we'll post them up to our two guests. And and I'd like you to join me in welcoming the two guests. One is Dana Jones. She's the new author who has written a memoir about her life experiences as a person with a disability. She believes that everyone deserves to live life fully and not just live in it. She is also an avid um fashionista, person who loves fashion and wants to work in films and acting. Welcome, Dana.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good, good. Our second guest, along with Dana, is Savannah Johnson. So, Savannah is a life coach, a KAP specialist, a hypnosis practitioner, and herself an author of two books and lives in Metro Atlanta. Welcome, Savannah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So, we're going to just jump in and start with the show. But before I get into talking, I just want to take a minute and ask both of you to introduce yourselves and maybe just give a visual description for our guests.
Okay, I'm Dana Jones. I'm an African American woman. I have a yellow t shirt on that you probably can't see it, but it says Design Your Life. 'Cause that's what you have to do. Design your life the way you want it. And I have a orange skirt on.
I love the what you have on your T-shirt. Design your life speaks about you.
Yes, yes, yes. I like to wear things that motivate me and tell me, give me a statement, and
Got
I
it.
like things like that.
I like that. Savannah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Savannah Rose Johnson. So I'm a Caucasian female with I can't decide if it's blonde or brown. It's kind of gotten a little darker. So we'll say it's brown today. And so I'm in my office setting. I have a white wall behind me. And then I also have a teal wall behind me with a little glowing salt lamp. So if you see that little glowing salt lamp or you feel the good energy, that's what's behind me. But just so thankful to be here today and thankful for Synergies work and introducing me to Dana and allowing me to be a part of her mentorship team. And Dana, just thank you for allowing me to support you in this process and become your friend along the way. So it's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I love what you said, Savannah, just now that you started as a mentor, mentee, um, and then now you're friends. I love that, and we will talk about that in a minute. I want you to remind me if I forget to ask you how the journey has been. But tell me, Dana, you are writing a book, right? And you're
Yes.
ready to publish it very soon. So tell us a little bit about the book and what inspired you to write this book.
Well, it's just like you said in the introduction. My book is all about living life and not just living in it. Because I believe everybody deserves to do that, like I said. But it's based on my life experiences. And my book goal is I hope everybody sees. I just hope people see things differently than what they do. See themselves differently, see life differently, see people differently. I mean, just see things differently. Because the way I feel is things they should make the world more accessible than what it is for everyone to live life. I mean, either on down the road, it's either two ways gonna happen. You're gonna keep if you keep living, you're gonna get older and weaker, and fragile, or some unexpected may happen, like a
Right?
tragedy or anything. So not why not make the world accessible just in case that happen?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you because all of us are part of this process. There
Yeah,
is nobody who's spared from it. So true.
and
So it's what you faced that you have that inspired you to write this book.
well, a lot of people would come to me because they saw the things I faced. They heard about the things I faced, and they just came to me and told me, "Then you should write a book. You should write a book." So when the pandemic came, I was trying to. I wasn't even thinking about this book. I was just thinking I should write a book. I should write a book. And one my concierge that lives here, he's like, Dana, everybody writing about this book. Cause I was writing about the pandemic. He said, Dana, write about your experiences, your life. Now that's a book. So I was like, everybody keep telling me to do this, so why not I go on and do it?
Got it. So you got encouraged to do that. Was that the case with you also, Savannah? When you wrote your first book, was it that you got encouraged from the people and said, "Right, Savannah, write a book"?
Mm, well, I would say my process was kind of different in the sense where I've been writing my whole life, and I would say I picked it up at a really early age because I believe it or not, I used to be really shy. And so that writing was kind of my way of helping myself just learn how to express what was in my heart. And I just kind of wrote mostly for myself throughout the years. But then eventually, just as I got to know people and got to really value myself and what I've been through, kind of same as you, Dana, I really saw that the things that I've been through are really unique, and there's something there that deserves to be shared. And so when it came to writing my book, it was something I just kind of felt like I needed to do for myself. It was a radical act of self-love, so to speak, where I had kind of a break in my schedule as my summer vacation in college, and I was doing little odd jobs here and there, but I really wanted something that mattered to me in a really different way. So, but I knew I had to do it myself. I knew that, of course, when I shared with people what I was doing, they're very encouraging, but it was something that I just kind of decided it could be a dream and stay a dream, or I could make it a reality with a little bit of work. So, just kind of chipped away at it day by day, and then poof, it was done. So, here we are.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Darren, how long did it take you for you to write this book? Slowly,
Um,
it's been what?
well, for me to write the book, it took, I say, for a year. But for me to come up with the book, probably it took me to do the book. It probably took me like either another year or two, cause
Started.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a courageous thing. I admire both of you for writing a book. It's not an easy process. So, was there a routine that both of you, when writing a book, that you followed? That I will do X number of pages every day, and I will get down to it. How does writing a book happen?
Well, I know for me, I had to really think about what I would like to put in the book and really go back all the way, go back so far, And with you having with you having a kind of the disability I have, it's very hard to get your thoughts together and your mind together. You really have to think. But I remember because my mother even she be surprised to this day that I remember so far back. She like, there ain't nothing wrong with your mind, nothing, But I remember things. more than she does. But
No,
but it's hard.
it is hard.
Yeah.
So then, what about you? How did you write the books?
Yeah, I would say since writing is just kind of a natural part of my own self-care, my own self-expression, it wasn't necessarily organized um probably until I really decided that I wanted to make my collection of writings into a book itself. So I would kind of scribble stuff on napkins, or I'd be driving and be thinking of something and write it down at a red light or something. So I kind of would have these little spouts of inspiration where just life would make sense to me in a way that I could speak it into a poem or something of that sort. And then once I had enough of a collection, that's when I started more of the diligent writing process of things that I intentionally needed to express. So I would say I would work on it a few hours a day at least, and then just kind of with a little bit few breaks here and there, but I would just plug away at it a little bit every day. And then once I had a collection that I felt was really representative of the story that I wanted to tell and what I wanted to share about myself, that's when I started to kind of do more of the editing process and then the illustration process. The illustration process was very spontaneous in the sense where it wasn't until I saw the poem formatted on the page and how much space it took up with the font, or if there was a certain image that was in my mind that I was trying to express, whether it was a moment in time or just something that came to my mind, whether it was abstract or a little more concrete. As I was writing that poem, I would close my eyes and try to just draw it. And that's kind of how the birth of my illustrations came around. They really just were another way of me trying to communicate the essence of what was really at heart there. So my process was a little all over the place, but it was something that had a lot of meaning in each step of the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from both of you. Like, whether it was going back into the history and remembering the stories and bringing them together, or whether it is putting together what you have been scribbling and writing in, at different stages and then collating it together. So it was kind of what I'm hearing is a kind of a cathartic self love process. Um, for you, Savannah, and for Dana. Dana, has this also made you kind of a self love and a peaceful process, a cathartic process where you're feeling more at peace after
Oh
having written
yes.
the. Yes?
Oh yes.
In what ways?
Ma'am, say that again.
I said, in what ways?
Oh, writing a book period is very therapeutic to me. I mean, it'll have you. I just can't remember how many times I've cried with my own book. But um, but and I was full of joy with my book. So it's very takes you back like you're an awesome person, girl. You got it going on. so everything I've done, I'm like, well, I didn't know I did so much. I didn't know I you don't know nothing until you write it down and really look at it. I know my sister keep telling me, Dana, you did this and this. I said, girl, I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing happened yet. But when I wrote it down, I'm like, I'm a bad chick.
Yes.
so, you know,
So bad chick, were there any days when you were writing a book when you felt like this is too much, I can't do it, or I can't do it anymore? Was there any time when you felt that I'm going
yeah,
to quit?
you have up days and down days. It's life.
This is life.
So,
Um,
I mean, and when you get to that point, you just take off. Maybe you need some time to to reevaluate yourself and recollect. So, you know, I just do that. That's probably why it took me so long.
Okay.
But I'm here. Like Savannah said, we here.
So, what was it like working with Savannah? And can you, Jenna, can I request you to come forward so that we can hear you better? Speak a little louder, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
I try because I know I got a soft voice.
Yes. So, tell her, how was it working with Savannah as your mentor? Was it what was it like?
Oh, I love that. I never really I've jumped up there on my own. People thinking I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I just wanna. Maybe I thought if I jumped out there, somebody would come, and which they did, and I'm grateful for them. But they didn't. Didn't know the ins and outs of what I want to do. So that fake it till you make it crap don't work, especially for me. But as having a mentor now, I am like so happy because she's actually done what I'm trying to do. And she can guide me, she can tell me the steps. I mean, she made it so comfortable for me. And I'm blessed to have a mentor.
You're blessed to have a mentor, and we have Savannah. What was it like for you?
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's emotional. I'm like, oh, yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, it's, I mean, just equally such a blessing for me. I just remember when Artie presented with me this opportunity to mentor Dana. Before I even met Dana, I was excited because, I mean, I understand how just confusing navigating the world of writing a book and then publishing and copywriting. There's so many different steps, and of course, we hear lots of horror stories about things that didn't go well, and with a book being something that's so personal and something that comes from your heart, it's almost like a, I call my books my babies, like they're my children. Like they, I mean, I crafted this and nurtured this thing to life, and the thought of something happening negatively to my baby, my book baby, is so scary. But so I just, given that I was able to just kind of take my time throughout my own process and learn the ins and outs, being able to give someone the opportunity to not have to stress about those kind of things and have someone that was actually there with their best interest in mind, like not receiving a check or not having to get a commission. It's like there's so much that always kind of makes your skin crawl in this industry, unfortunately. So being able to just be myself with someone and do what I love to do, and serve others in something like writing a book and sharing a story is so valuable for me, just when it comes to my own personal values. And then when I met Dana, I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna have some fun, because she's such a spitfire, and just her story was one that opened up my own heart in such a powerful way. And I just knew that it was fate. It was meant to be. It felt so good. Our chemistry, and just being able to see her light up at the end of each of our meetings and sessions together, is just, it was icing on the cake. So because her story is one that I believe in, needs to be told. It changed my perspective. So just side note, Dana, that you've already achieved what you have set out to do, is change people's perspective, because you already changed mine. So, and I'm just so jazzed for when the book is finally ready to be published and out there in the world, because I'm going to be shouting it from the rooftops. So
Yeah.
you just get ready. We're still just getting started. It's going to be
I
awesome.
know. I know. I've been listening, in the background. I don't get to be a part of your meetings. I don't need to, because I know that this chemistry is fantastic. But I believe there is some things that you guys have been talking about how to promote the book. Do you want to give us a little peep into that? What else has been cooking behind the scene?
Yeah, well, I think just when it comes down to Dana's story and how I think it can open up other people's hearts as well. And then even the mission of Synergies Work, us connecting with others. I remember one of my favorite experiences when I was freshly published with my book, as I got to do a book signing. And it was little, it was really cute, but it was just so much fun getting to talk to other authors and meet them, and then get to have my book and these stacks of people buy it. It was just so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real. I'm actually doing this. So I'm just really excited to do that same process with Dana and have us do book signings together. And we're also going to be promoting it through the library system, because that was something too that I did with my first book. Was I just donated copies to the libraries, so that way if someone maybe can't afford to buy it, it's not going to be a restriction. They can still access it through the library. And then just wanted to contribute to my community as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and there's all of these different avenues for us to explore and work together on.
Dana, what about you? Are you excited about getting the book out into the world, or
Oh, yes.
holding the baby tight to your heart?
The last part you said, I mean, I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, are you ready to share the book with the world, or are you going to hold it tight to your heart?
Oh no, I'm gonna share this book. I ain't wrote it for nothing. I'm gonna
Right.
share it. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it.
That's right. Yes.
So, you want to read a part of the favorite part of your book for all of us?
Yes, I would. The favorite part of my book is about the dreams and goals chapter. I'm gonna read one of each for you.
Got it.
My dream, my number one dream, and always have been, besides singing, 'cause you know I can't do that no more. You hear the way I sound now. Is to become a working actress with a fashion line, and that's my favorite because that was a dream I had before I even got like this. And Synergies Work came, I heard them during the pandemic, even though I'm 45 now. Um, they they fulfill. I can see it coming to intuition. I can really see this because as I describe Synergies Work, now this is how I describe it. They're, they help people with disabilities with their entrepreneur dream. And if it weren't for them, I don't know if I see it. But I know it'll come true, but I don't know if I see it. But with Central Work, I just see it. I see it. It's there. It's coming true. And it's all because of them. My dream, my entrepreneur dream is here. First the book, I wrote about it. Now I'm finna be about it. Okay. Now, my goal. The goal is this impairment kept me from fulfilling my dream of going into the Air Force. I have the goal of going onto an Air Force base to just to be able to tour or see what it would have been like if I had a went. And the reason why that's my favorite, you guys, because I feel like the universe is telling me something because I was a background actress, with central casting, and I had to play a military vet.
Ah,
I said,
That's so
Lord, what's
cool.
the universe is telling me something. I'm going. I'm getting there, cause that's what I want to do because I've always joined the what you call it JROTC something. I was in that and I wasn't in it for nothing. I want to see it. So, you know, uh,
okay. So you're working towards being an actress again, and you want to also go and take a tour of the Air Force Base. Is that correct? Yep.
Actress with the fashion line,
Just with the
because
fashion.
I don't want to be a starving actress. So I'm gonna have my fashion line, working on that while, doing the that thing as an actress. Hopefully I'll come full time, but right now, I have to do something. I don't want to be a starving artist.
Got it. I know. We worked on, and thank you for the shout out to Synergies Work. I can promise you, everyone, I did not tell Jenna to say that. She said it on her own. Yeah, and if you have any questions, if there are anybody in our audience who wants to write a book, now is the time to ask these questions. We will put it up here to both our authors. Um, Tell me, Dana, that we had started working on this idea of having a fashion line, that because you have always been interested in setting up your own fashion line and also helping others, grooming for them, giving them advice on fashion. Is that still something that you want to pursue going forward after you have published the book and the second project?
Yes, yes, it's always been a dream of mine because ever since I was 20, that's when I jumped out and shouldn't have jumped out. I jumped out in a big urban fashion show showing my line, and I didn't know where I want to go with it or what I wanted to do or how to do it or nothing. I just jumped out there, and so fashion, and I went to college for fashion. So yeah, fashion's in my heart.
Okay.
Acting is too, though. But, I
Okay.
gotta do what I gotta do.
Kimberly Baker is saying, wow, you're amazing, Dana. Keep going. You're a warrior. Adrian, thanks, calls you. This is awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So, is there something that both of you are thinking about? If you any tips that you have for someone who wants to write a book, what would you tell them? Because you know what they say that there is a book in everybody's heart. Though I believe that some of the books might be better, like me, but better be inside the heart and don't bring it out into the public. But any tips that you have for anybody who's an aspiring author?
Oh, okay. I'll take this. Yes, anybody that wants to be an aspiring author. I wrote this down. I wrote the question down, but I can't see it. So I guess since I can't find it, I'm just have to tell
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Is to take your time. Take it, but obviously don't take your time as long as I did. That you just have to. But and also I really think you should do it. Do what your heart leads you to, because as I said, the book is very therapeutic. You will see once you write it down, it will make you keep going.
Okay.
And
Savannah, any tips?
Yeah, I would say, well, this is something that I've even shared with Dana is when it comes down to writing a book, that's something that is yours forever. All the work that you're putting into the planning, the writing, the publishing, the illustrating, whatever kind of book you're writing, just know that it's work that you're doing for others, but also for yourself too. Because once that book becomes real and it's out there in the world, even long after we leave this earth, that you've left your mark, and you've left your mark in ways that you will probably only imagine that you'll understand one day. So it's amazing, having written my first book a few years ago, people still reaching out to me to let me know how much it helped them with certain things. So and that kind of stuff is just wow. Not only is it a beautiful thing for yourself and something that you'll always have, you're always going to be an author no matter what. It's also a way that you can really make an impact in that ripple effect across the whole world, essentially. Because when you can change one person's life, that's the same as changing all of humanity. And so just knowing that your story is so valuable because we're all unique in this world. So, Artie, I'm going to challenge you on that. We're all unique and everyone has something beautiful to share. So, it's about just knowing that given how we are individual people, whether it's where our background is from or our age or where we grew up, all besides the point. The fact is that there's only one you on this earth, and therefore there's a unique story at hand and a valuable story at hand. And I share with my clients, there's millions and millions of diamonds out there, but people are still forking over thousands of dollars for them. But there's only one you. So just think about how priceless you are, how rare you are, and how valuable you are. And so your story deserves to be told.
Ah, so I need you to be my mentor then, Savannah. I'm done with Dana.
Happy to.
Tell us the names of your two books, please, Savannah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So my first book, it's a poetry book and it's also illustrated. So it's called Ghost and Letters. And so I named it that. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she's so cute. And so Ghost and Letters, well, I'll kind of read that back cover. So it's about mental health is beautiful. And when I say mental health, I mean beyond just like presenting conditions, but when it comes down to us understanding ourselves, understanding how we think, what we need emotionally as we grow up and proceed through life. So the back cover there is Memoir of Memories from Hurting to Healing, a journey in mental health, a journey in feeling. The human experience we all feel inside, growing acceptance with all which I write. So that
Love it.
was yeah, thank you. So that was I really wrote this because I just wanted people to understand it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. We all have a brain, so we all have mental health and we all have hearts. And I just wanted to share through different chapters of my life and different themes, just a little bit about the stuff that I've been through. But I make it in a way that is very I would say mm, vague enough in that poetry style to where anyone can read it and apply it to their own life. So it's not
Got
just about this is what happened to me with this person. It's very much anyone can read it and gain some meaning from it. So that was my first baby. And then my other baby, it's totally different track. So it's called Wealth and Worth, and it's financial focus for money, power, and finding your purpose. And so this book was actually, I wrote it during the pandemic, because just so many people were impacted financially because of COVID. And so I wanted to make something that was more about how to get your money right now. It's of course retirement is important and investment stuff is very important, but I just feel especially with my generation, not a lot of people have a lot of financial literacy when it comes down to
Yeah.
ways that benefit them in the short term and long term. So it's really cute. It's illustrated as well, very digestible. You can read it in an afternoon. I wanted it to be really simple and aesthetically pleasing, just a little way for you to understand not only how to manage your money, but how to make money work for you and work for your dreams and your goals, and overall how having that financial literacy is another form of self-care and how you can
Yeah.
elevate in your life. So
A lot of what do you call pandemic babies right here. We have one coming
yeah.
from Hannah because of which she has written last year. We have one from you. So I have a couple of questions here. So let me start from the top, from there, and ask you. Kimberly Baker wants to know from Dana. Dana, when did you have your first dream? When are you writing a book? How do you get it published on your own? So both of you can take these questions and tell us. First, Dana, tell me. She wants to know. Uh, I guess what she wants to know is when did you first start thinking of writing the book, and then how will you get it published?
I first started thinking of writing a book. Um, I guess it was in year 2000, thinking of writing a book. But I guess I actually did it when the epidemic started. And um, what was the second question?
So you have already written the book, and now you're in the process of publishing it. So tell us, how are you thinking of getting it published?
I really, really want to get it published through a LL, a publishing company. I don't want to publish it on my own. that's the last thing I want to do. Cause like Savannah said, I heard too many horror stories, and I'm tired of horror stories. I'm really tired of it. So that's how I really want to get it published through an agency or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where we're working together, aren't we? So I'm not gonna let anyone bamboozle you, Dana.
I believe you.
Yeah, we believe that of Savannah, that's for sure. Savannah, there's a question for you here.
Okay.
What they ask is Ghosts and Letters. Somebody's saying, I love that book, Ghosts and Letters, and where can I get your book?
Yeah, well, you can visit my website. It's called eclipseevolution.com. But you can also look it up, Ghosts and Letters. It's on Amazon, it's Barnes and Noble. Although I will tell you, Amazon, I have a kind of a special deal with them, so it's a little cheaper on Amazon, and plus if you have Prime shipping, that's always good too. But yeah, so it's available online, and then you can always go to Barnes and Noble and request them to have it if it's not already on the shelf. And then the pretty much I want to say on my website I have them listed, but the DeKalb County Library System also has it as well.
Awesome. So Adrian Banks wants to know, Dana, that I really want to finish the book that I started, and I would love to become a motivational speaker. She's just saying that yes, she's already writing a book. That's good to know, Adrian. And then, yeah, definitely you should become a motivational speaker as you share your experiences with the world. That's awesome. Um,
Awesome.
any other last minute tips that you can share? Actually, I forget. I want to know how was the friendship part going between the mentor and the mentee, between the two of you, Dana and Savannah? How's that friendship part going? Are
Um,
there times when that
it's
friendship
going.
gets strained and then you have to push each other?
Oh yeah, it's going great because at first starting out, I was like, I hope this works because I didn't know, if I'm used to people leaving at certain times,
Uh,
and they come and hear my story. They're very interested. They want to work with you, then they gone. So I was expecting this, but she's still here. Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere, girl.
So she has. At first, she didn't show her personality, but on down the line, she has a personality just like me. So I love it. I'm okay with it.
that's so good to hear. That's so good to hear.
So funny. I
It's
mean, absolutely. At first it was very much that kind of that we're here with the business, but I mean, if y'all don't already know, Dana has the best sense of humor ever. And so we barely can stay on track with our meetings because it would just start to get into all kinds of shenanigans. So she's so funny and just such a beautiful spirit. And I always love when we get together because I love to see how she's making progress on her book. And then also I like to mess with her and give her a hard time. So I'm glad you put up with me, Dana.
Yeah.
you guys make me cry. Really, this is so beautiful to see. And what you said, Dana, broke my heart when you said people come and they leave you. That's not. That's what you have you experienced till now. But I'm so glad that you found Savannah, and she's your mentor, a friend, and you're so close to publishing the book. We just can't wait. At least I can't wait to get my hands on your book. So tell us, when do we get to see the book? When do we get to buy it from you? What date?
I'm pushing for. I'm really no. It's going to happen. I
Yes.
want it to happen next. I know for sure next year because it takes like 10 months before it to be published. But so next year around the fall, I'm pushing for my birthday because my birthday is in November,
Okay.
and I want it to be my birthday gift that this is
Got it.
finally off, and I can put it on Instagram, everywhere, Facebook, Alan Gale, everywhere. Say it's here, it's here. Thank God about this here. So
Yeah. And finally, Dana, tell us the name of your book, the title of your book.
okay, the title is In the Blink of an Eye. Then at the bottom it's got courage, semicolon, becoming boss bound.
Mm, love it.
Love it. Just love it. I can't wait to see this book on November 2022. Blink of an eye, courage, becoming boss bound.
Yes.
Thank you so much for today. It's been such a pleasure to spend time with both of you and hearing about your journey. And I only wish the very best for both of you. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Thank you. This is such a gift, and I appreciate both of you. And thank you, Stephen, for being our awesome interpreter today as well.
Yes, and thanks to
Thank you,
all.
thank you, thank you.
Adrian says, Savannah, you are amazing and a blessing. Jana, you are inspiring, and hearing you today has really been a blessing. I quite agree with Adrian today. So, thank you, everybody who has joined us today, being part of this conversation. I want to thank Stephen, our team, Sign One News, and people who have been working behind this, Amani Fanus, Shlok Shah, and entire Synergies Work team. So we hope to see you again here next month on May 26th, where we bring in two other amazing entrepreneurs. Our entrepreneur, Noah Seaback, will be joining us along with Synergies Work Board member, Peter Barron. So May 26th at 12 p.m. Don't forget. I hope to see you here. Till then, take care, live well, bye.